joining us at the table is Beth Oleson with the Woodford County Humane Society. Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to the table, Beth.
Thank you.
So you are the talk of the town today.
Okay. No pressure.
No pressure.
Yeah, well, you know, none. This is a fun family show. But we have been obsessed with pets. I'd say for probably the last, goodness, 3 weeks. We've been doing all kinds of pet stories. And you all have a big adoption drive that's getting ready to kick off. Tell us a little bit about that.
We do. So it is creatively titled The Adoption Drive.
Yeah. Keep it
presented
simple.
by Quantrell Auto Group. It's an annual event. At this point, we've done it for about 11, I think this is our 11th year with Quantrell in some form or another. And basically how it works is from December 1st, so today, through the 23rd, every pet's adoption fee is free for the adopter because it's being paid by Quantrell Auto Group.
Oh, that's awesome.
Very, very cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
So
Lisa,
cool.
you've got a question for us about urgency.
Yeah. So what is the status of the urgency of the adoption for these pets? I know you guys get full quite often.
We do. And anyone who works in a shelter will tell you that the last couple of years have been really hard for shelters. Everything changed in 2020 for all of us in many ways.
Right.
And with shelters, what we have seen is increasing overcrowding and overpopulation, decreasing adoptions over the last 2 years. And unfortunately, it's not getting better. It's not turning around. I'm sure it will eventually, but we're not there yet.
Yeah.
So it's extra important to us this year that we really get the word out. So thank you ladies all very much. And kind of give people a reason to get excited about adding a pet to their home.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people think about it for a long time and kind of go back and forth, and maybe this is just the nudge that they need to go ahead and do it.
Yes.
So.
Okay, so what are some of the things that people should take into consideration when they're going to adopt a pet?
Okay, there's a lot to think about, right? So the first thing I will say is that we'll be the first to tell people that just because the adoption fee is free does not mean that taking care of a pet is free.
That's the truth.
That is the truth.
Lordy.
Yes.
And it costs over $1,000 just for basic care for one pet every year.
Yeah.
So, you know, we want to remind people that just because the word free is in there and that word is exciting doesn't mean that, you know, the lifetime of that pet is going to necessarily be cheap and easy
That's
to
right.
take care of.
Yeah.
And of course, there are other things to take into consideration when you're choosing what pet you want to bring home, like what your lifestyle is, like how much time you have to devote, how much space you have. Luckily, our adoptions counselors know our animals very well. So if you're coming into it and you know you want to adopt a pet, but you're not quite sure who to choose, we're happy to help direct you in the direction that might fit your home best.
So is some of the overcrowding that we're seeing across the country because people got a little overzealous during the pandemic getting pets and then we're like, I don't know what to do now. and
Some
gave
of it definitely is. It's a really complex situation right now. So we definitely have increased owner surrender, and I think a lot of that is a combination of folks who, you know, got a dog during lockdown and either were under the impression that they would be able to work remotely for, you know, indefinitely, which a lot of people were, and then had to go back to work, or just, you know, weren't thinking 3 or 4 years down the road, discovered that they didn't have the time when they got back to work.
Yeah.
But it was also very trendy to get a dog. A lot of people saw an opportunity to make a buck by breeding during that time also.
Oh,
so there are
man.
just more dogs and more people getting dogs who then were not able to care for them appropriately. So unfortunately, we're also seeing neglect and abandonment on the rise.
Oh, gracious.
Absolutely.
So it's just complicated. It's a sad situation. And then right now, of course, we have a lot of economic weirdness also. Like inflation is so high, everything is expensive. And then the housing market is totally out of control. So it's harder to rent a home where you can have a dog.
Yeah.
So dogs and puppies in particular are just having a hard time finding homes right now.
But it's super complex then.
Yes, it is.
So you have the adoption drive going up. What are some other like things that the Woodford Humane Society is doing?
Oh, we're always busy.
I know. You guys are great.
So we have our big matching fund goal going through the end of the year also. So if folks who maybe aren't ready to adopt a pet but would like to contribute and support, we have at last count, I think it was $92,000 in matching funds that we can raise to match by the end of the year. Awesome. We got a big jump on that on Giving Tuesday. So we're off to a good start.
Good.
But the way that works is any donation of $100 or more can be matched, like completely doubled by the end of the year. So folks just need to get those gifts in and mark them for our Save Matching Fund if they want to contribute that way.
So we're running out of time, but tell us your website so folks can find more about adoption, matching, all the things that y'all have going on.
All the goodies are at woodfordhumane.org.
woodfordhumane.org.
All right.
Okay, Beth, thank you so much for dropping by.